Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel, and also welcome back to the Anime Podcast Show for another episode. And we got some sad news, y'all. This is the last episode for the season. Yeah, but still cannot even believe this is the 30th episode of the show. Woo! After a long road ahead. After 2 years, and when I first started, it was during the pandemic, and look where we are now in 2023, and we got out of it, but COVID's still all around us, but now, whatever. But anyway, this would be a special one. Got a lot of things to talk about. But let's kick off the show, as usual, starting with the first segment, and that would be new interest in anime. So, if you are new to the channel, or if you are new to the Anime Podcast, welcome. So let me explain about these statements, giving you all some context, what's going on. A series I started watching, or I am very interested to take a look at for whatever reasons for it. The original statement was originally called, What Series I've Watched During the COVID Pandemic. At the time, was already being a freaking pandemic, to be honest. But talking about series that I got into in 2020 and 2021, now we're in 2023 now, I just don't want to mention about COVID anymore, and that is it. So anyway, this series I am talking about is setting in a medieval European-inspired dark fantasy world, centered around characters like Guts, a lone swordsman, Griffith, and mercenary leader of Band of the Hawk. But this is an unbelievable story, a long time popular story, and finally I can talk about it. This amazing series that came out in the 1990s to a trilogy, then to a worse CGI adaptation known as Berserk. As you were saying, amazing series, right? Not really at all. I know people have their own opinions about this, if you like it or not. Well, people do or do not like Berserk. Personally, I do like these type of stories, but I've never seen type of stories like this before, but this is a pretty damn interesting. They actually have some interesting storylines, but anyway, the way that Kentaro Miura wrote and illustrated, and the details in every single chapter he ever done, it looks pretty darn good and pretty damn interesting. I can't even believe almost 35 years since the first chapter was published, and almost a decade decided to make an anime series in the year of 1997. So, I made an anniversary video last October ago. If you haven't seen it, the link will be in the description below. So, they adapted into a 25-episode run animated by OLM, the same people who produced it and worked on Pokemon. And actually, they toned it down due to the content and exploitated scenes, but it was a decent series, and to be honest, it had one of the best English dubs. But almost 15 years since the last episode got aired in 1998 for the original Berserk series, that it would have potential into a feature film, and it would be producing the iconic arc in the story ever, the Golden Age arc, into 3 theatrical films. 2 came out in 2012 and 1 came out in 2013. Then on the year of 2016 became a regretful year moment in anime history. It would be not a great continuation to the story. It was produced in 1997 and 2012 is the 2016 series Berserk, covering the Conviction arc and Falcon of the Millennium Empire arcs. Great. Why? Why did you want to do that? Make a CGI, I don't know, do a freaking CGI series. Why? And to the fans who were there from the very start, and they were disgusted of the direction they chose to go to. And 10 years later, after the movies came out, they are reworked the movies as an episode format, as a memorial edition, and might as well. It's still one of the best stories I've ever seen in an animated form. What's my interest with the Berserk series anyway? So here's a little story. It was actually my own decision. I'd originally have a list of series that I'm going to be watching and very interested to take a look at between 2021 and 2022. Most of the shows I've added haven't watched it yet, and some I had watched it already without realizing it, and with Berserk, was all of a sudden when we heard the news about Kentaro's passing. And that's what the reason why I started watching Berserk. And to be honest, I freaking loved it. And I really enjoyed it. And so many great characters we met, and so many great storylines they told. And I can't wait what they're going to do on the next half of the story without Kentaro with us at this time. So that is my interest with Berserk. Now let's move on to the next segment of the show, and that will be Topic of the Week. So for this segment is about telling different topics if fans know or don't know about their favorite shows, or even my own point of view about these different shows. So for this episode's topic would be about anime best English dubs from the 1990s. What I mean is the era of the 1990s, not the dubs. It can be from dubbed in the late 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. I'll mention those in a bit. So in number 10, I'm going to give up to this one. As the start of this topic, and yes, we have to start with the highs and the lows, with One Piece. From a disgraceful dub by 4Kids before mentioning 4Kids, and a current dub by Funimation, or known as Crunchyroll. In the early 2000s, Toei Animation wants to bring One Piece internationally. How they can adapt and have a perfect cast with the various studios like, of course, 4Kids, Funimation, and something new we didn't know about. I knew about it years ago, but here it is. The other two studios were Blue Water Studios and Ocean Productions. At that time, were actually made their pilot episodes, but didn't have the right tone to the characters as gonna see on screen. Anyway, then until the choosing studio to dub One Piece, an awful 4Kids entertainment. So no offense to them, they got the best dubs they ever did, like for Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! But One Piece, no. So the series aired on Foxbox and Toonami in 2004 to 2007, airing for about 104 episodes, cutting down from 143 episodes in Japan. In about at least around 39 episodes were cut to the English dub. Then, around the end of 2007, 4Kids lost the license of One Piece due to the lack of the storylines, various cuts, and skipping arcs. So, they had the best studio to save the franchise before becomes in trouble. So Funimation saved it and got the license and literally start production. But having said that, there were a lot of problems from the very start of their dub of One Piece because they were in a rush production because changing the cast by Funimation from 4Kids cast, that the next batch of episodes were gonna air on Cartoon Network's Toonami in 2007 and 2008, with less censorship due to the restrictions that airs on cable, but that dub got removed from their schedule, would be back 2 more times in 2013 and 2022. And another reason why they were in a rush production is one of my favorite movies they were about to dub, and that would be The Desert Princess and the Pirates, Adventures in Alabasta, one of my favorite One Piece movies they dubbed. And to the present day of One Piece, Funimation and Crunchyroll cast are still continuing the dub since way back in 2019 from Punk Hazard arc. As of the dub right now, we're in the Wano Country arc right now. At the same time with the Japanese and the English episodes, that's insane. Anywho, I wonder what gonna be the final arc gonna be for the story, as will be the end game for the Straw Hats. Coming up in number 9, oh my gosh, one of my favorite series. I was interested way back in December of 2021 and January 2022. He's a little detective solving crimes, but at the same time finding the antidote for Shinichi be back as his high school self from the Black Organization. What series I am talking about? Well, I just mentioned the character, Detective Conan. Oh my gosh, I love Conan so much. So as of now, I'm already in like 700 plus episodes in. So almost leading up to the Japanese release. So possibly about 320 plus episodes, maybe. You want to hear something? It actually is pretty darn weird. It's a weird history for the dub. Like, we got the weirdest dub we ever had until, I would say the best dubs we ever had. That's all I gotta say. So, let me break it down the history if you don't know. So, it would be the start of 2000 that Fox Kids had plans to broadcast Detective Conan, airing for 26 episodes, had been acquired for a fall lineup that would be between October and December of 2000. But ultimately, the show never got seen on the network due to the fact that the early episodes were a lot of violence. However, in December in that year, it was rumored for a pitch episode had been produced by TMS Entertainment titled Conan's Capers. It was split together from the first 3 episodes, with all references to death and violence were removed, and the pilot from the first episode were summarized within 5 minutes. Now to the other dub. It was licensed and acquired by Funimation. Who knows if there will be no problems with one of the best studios who produced DBZ and Yu Yu Hakusho and many others. My gosh! It got done terribly. The reason is only for the broadcast episodes, and they were cancelled immediately to air it. They have continued, so the full context was in 2003 acquired and licensed for the first 104 episodes under the name Case Closed. The first 52 episodes aired on Adult Swim between May to August 2004 due to low ratings. Ultimately, they continued to dub it more episodes from 104 to 130 episodes, including with 6 theatrical films: Time-Bombed Skyscraper, The 14th Target, The Last Wizard in the Century, Captured in Her Eyes, Countdown to Heaven, and The Phantom of Baker Street, releasing it on DVD between 2006 to 2010 until the license expired on May of 2018. But then secretly, if Conan be back, they would be back in a year later, would be a special screening in 2019 at Anime Expo with a brand new cast. And that would be dubbed by Bang Zoom Entertainment. Their dub, to be honest, is one of the best dubs I've ever seen. And that screened was for Zero the Enforcer in a 4DX experience. That's so freaking cool, fam. I wish I got to see that screening. That will be freaking awesome. After that, they had done another screening in another convention in December of 2019 that was for Episode 1 Special and the Crimson Love Letter movie. That's another favorite of mine. Then to the freaking pandemic days. Discotheque Media, licensed for Conan, releases the Episode 1 Special, movies 19 and onwards, hoping 24 and 25 will be dubbed. I'm hoping. Then the crossover with Lupin the Third, then dubbing spin-offs like Zero's Tea Time, etc. Hey, anything is not gonna go wrong. Before making this script, very intrigued that TMS Entertainment announced that Tubi is streaming Case Closed, but in English for the first time ever, dubbing it in 2 episodes. That's a long time since Funimation dubbed episodes, between the good and the bad. Happy that 4 of the cast from Bang Zoom Dub had reprised their roles, dubbing episodes 965 and onwards. And the others, the rest of the cast, got recast. And all been dubbed by the Miami cast. But oh boy, that's a bad feeling. The bad side of anime is back. But not really at all. To be honest, they improved themselves great. But I'm very happy what we got now. So in number 8. As a longtime fan of this amazing franchise, Digimon, Digital Monsters, there had been some pros and cons between comparing to the OG first season to the reboot dub just came out a few months ago. But let me give from the very start. It was produced and licensed by Saban Entertainment and aired on Fox Kids in August 1999 to June of 2000. And to the follow-up season, Season 2, Adventure 02, aired on August 2000 to May of 2001. And to one of the best seasons for Digimon, because seems that we're going to see the dark side or even moments being as tamers, aired September 2001 to June of 2002. Then towards as Digidestined merge with ancient spirits known as legendary heroes to become Digimon themselves. Digimon Frontier aired for UPN and ABC Family Channel around September of 2002 to July of 2003. Since the end of Tamers, never seen Digimon again cause Fox Kids is been cancelled, so Frontier was the first series to air without their mainstream at Fox Kids. Making a big return as Digimon would be police officers, or maybe DATs, or known as Data Squad. Digimon Data Squad aired on Jetix on October 2007 to November of 2008. But we had not thought we wouldn't expect this dub exist. That would be Digimon Fusion. And the series aired on Nicktoons on September 2013 to August 2015. Only dubbed for 2 seasons because due to the low ratings, and that will be the last dub for Digimon for a little while. But the franchise has dying out for a bit as it was announced in 2014 for the 15th anniversary to the original series that the original Digidestined, Tai and the rest are coming back, but as a theatrical release into a 6-part film known as Digimon Adventure Tri from November 2015 to May 2018. As a follow-up movie to Tri is Last Evolution Kizuna, would be the finale for our original Digidestined that Tai, Matt, Sora, and the rest had grown up and let them continue their lives, and their Digipals are not going to be there anymore. It would be a closing chapter for the original cast. Now, for this upcoming sequel, for a huge finale for the O2 cast, including TK and Kari, for the beginning movie. But still, I am looking for what they're going to do for it. Now, setting the word of technology and bringing back our old team in a different approach of Digimon. The last thing I want to mention before moving on, the next series that all Digimon series or movies were dubbed by Studio Atlas. And all of that cast, as of to this day, they are still freaking legends, they are. And grown up with the franchise for 20 years as of this year in 2023, it's freaking insane as my first anime series growing up into this amazing series and the franchise. So let's continue to its better future. Coming to number 7, as this series comes out in the 1980s. But the dub came out in 1999, dubbed by Animes, and that would be Fist of the North Star. The first 36 episodes was released by Manga Entertainment and broadcast on Showtime Beyond in the United States and Sci-Fi Channel in the UK. It's very sad that the cast never got the chance to finish it. Before closing for Fist of the North Star, there's actually a few movies and OVAs were dubbed. First, it came out with the Fist of the North Star movie in 1991 by Streamline Pictures. Then the OVA dub was produced by ADV Films in 2004. Then TMS Entertainment decided to redo the story, but as a new story as a 5-film series, which was around the 25th anniversary for Fist of the North Star. And actually, we have a dub for one of those movies, dubbed by Sound Cadence Studios, and actually though, we have an amazing English cast. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to watch it. As of number 6, so many different dubs. Of course, we gotta talk about Evangelion, or Eva, or known as Neon Genesis Evangelion. It first started with the ADV Films releasing it on VHS tapes between 1996 to 1998, and the cast was pretty tight, but at least the Evangelion is one of the best ADV popular titles as one of their regard dubs ever. Then more or some of the cast reprised their roles for a renewal of Evangelion. It's a director's cut of Eva, redubbed episodes 21 to 24, then to the rebuild movies. It was dubbed by Funimation for the first 3 movies between 2007 to 2013. 3 of the original cast from ADV came back, and 1 came back from the director's cut. And most of the cast were recast by Funimation. Then Netflix later acquired the streaming rights for both the series and the movies on November 2018. And then on June of 2019, we have a new dub, was recorded by VSI LA using the LA cast with the movies Death and Rebirth and End of Ava. Was the same cast from ADV Films recorded in 2002, then the Rebuild movies were redubbed by the same videos who did the original series. The Rebuild movies with Funimation, they came back for one last time, finishing up with the Thrice Upon a Time, streaming it on Amazon Prime. It's still one of the greatest mecha series of all time. To number 5, speaking about mecha, this is a long-time franchise with different dubs from different studios between 1999 to the present day. So many anime series, movies, OVAs, etc. But I am talking about the Gundam franchise. The first thing was dubbed for Gundam was Stardust Memory, War in the Pocket, and 08th MS Team, dubbed by Animes, based on the LA cast. Then it was the famous series dubbed that was kicked off the Gundam franchise for the international audience is Gundam Wing. That was aired on Toonami, dubbed by Ocean Productions, and dubbing more series at Vancouver with the original Gundam series, G Gundam, Gundam Seed, and many more. Then a little bit back in LA for the SD Gundam Force series that was aired on Toonami's Cartoon Network, then to New York, dubbed by NYV Post, dubbing for Unicorn and The Origin. I think I'm correct. Then back to LA again, but by Bang Zoom Entertainment for Iron Blood Orphans and Build Drivers, and finally currently been dubbed by Crunchyroll for The Witch of Mercury. That came out recently, as of this video. It's been recorded or released so far. As we are getting close to the 45th year for the franchise. They're going to share us more stories in the coming future for the new generations to come. As of coming to the 25th year for this series, well, I am talking about Trigun. Well, we all know that the anniversary just came out. If you haven't seen it, go in the description below if you haven't seen the Trigun 25th anniversary video. Anyway, a little brief about the dub. The original dub for Trigun was dubbed by Animes in 1999 and 2000. After that, a feature film, Badlands Rumble, dubbed by Funimation in 2011. Then, in 2022, an unexpected reboot of Trigun is coming. As of now, Stampede is about to come to their sequel. Very excited for it. Check it out on Crunchyroll if you haven't seen it, and the dub is already on Crunchyroll. And yes, I'm very happy that we got one of the voice actors from the original cast from Trigun is back. To number 3, coming to this legendary series, it had became pretty weird in the early 1990s when making a company then to the modern day becomes a legendary studios known as Funimation was formed. And that would be Dragon Ball Z. So it started off with Dragon Ball and a partnership with BLT Productions to produce the first 13 episodes and dubbed by Dick and Rogers Sound Studio in Vancouver, Canada. They much attempt like Harmony Gold did, but received poorly. Funimation decided to dub DBZ instead as an action-packed sequel to its predecessor. It would produce well. They partnered with Saban Entertainment, the same studio who produced an Americanized version of Super Sentai turns into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and dubbed by Ocean Productions. But Saban did a lot of editing to the episodes and insert and create their own music for the American audience with their theme song, Rock the Dragon. They only dubbed 53 episodes of the Ocean dub of DBZ before switching their cast to an in-house studios in Dallas, Texas, that dub was cancelled because of the ratings and airing schedules. They're not going to continue that cheesy dub, so they decided having a better quality dub for the ones that broadcast better on TV. And actually, thanks for the reruns for those 53 episodes by Ocean Group, that the DBZ is making money from those reruns, so broadcasting it on Toonami. So Funimation switching their cast to Dallas, Texas talent casting, and actually became the best dubs from 1999 to 2003. After finishing DBZ, they have came back to dub the original Dragon Ball series and the sequel series to DBZ. Stepping to the grand tour is Dragon Ball GT. Since then, DBZ is a thing between in the mid to late 2000s, doing a little touch-ups to clean the script and redub the whole series. Since then on, the cast we have from the old DBZ dub to the current series Dragon Ball Super are still currently dubbing more Dragon Ball. Can't wait for more stories to come up for the future of the franchise. As for number 2, if you want to be the very best like no one ever was, and go into the world of Pokemon. Yes, Pokemon. Pokemon is licensed by 4Kids Entertainment, as the production has started in early 1998. If you haven't seen my anniversary video for Pokemon, another video is in the description below. I talked about it briefly, about the production. It took them 4 to 6 months to dub it, due to their own schedules to the other voice actors. And also, at that time, they were new to the game of voiceover. It was the very start of the franchise, as it was debuted as it was syndicated in the US on September 7th, 1998, which it came as a nationwide success. Then it was moved to Kids WB that was aired on February 13th, 1999 to early 2006. As the halfway mark of Season 1 to the end of Season 8, not only showing episodes that had shown their feature films, first as Kids WB Presents for their first 3 movies, and then they dubbed their 7th movie, Destiny Detox. Aired on Kids WB for the first time ever to air. Also, they aired the 10th anniversary of Pokemon, Mastermind of Mirage Pokemon, with changing their cast. Following the animes dropped by Kids WB, Season 9, Pokemon Battle Frontier, aired on September 2006 with their new cast. As of the current cast right now, well, as of this video comes out, we'll get a new cast for the new current series, Pokemon Horizon, with new characters. And Pokemon Battle Frontier been aired on Cartoon Network to end their contract, ended their run with them for the 19th season in 2016 for Pokemon X, Y, and Z, before moving it to Disney XD to air Sun and Moon series, then moving the series onwards to Netflix for the 3 final seasons for Ash and Pikachu's journey, for releasing batch of episodes starting to Journeys to Ultimate Journeys. But who knows if they're going to stream the new series that comes out later in the year for the English dub. To the number 1 list, as it's helmed to as it's actually stand as one of the best English dubs of all time, because this has a terrific cast. And I am talking about Cowboy Bebop. From the fans' perspective, it becomes a cult classic, while the dub is not better than the original Japanese cast, as they bring the characters to life, as it's one of the best, greatest English dubs, but they had no differences between the Japanese and the English cast. The series to this day is still airing it on Adult Swim as reruns since it first aired in 2001, now moving into the series as reruns that airs on Toonami in any occasion. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the topic of the week statement, and that is it for Season 5 of the Anime Podcast Show. Can't wait to continue more with the show for the 6th season of the show when it drops out later in the year. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you haven't done it yet. And if you're curious when I upload again. So thank you so much everyone for listening and watching this. So that is it for the Anime Podcast Show. Hope I will see you all in Season 6. And take care of yourselves and stay safe out there. and talk to you all very soon. Take care.